Hey guys, Trevor Reed here again. Super excited to get to speak to you guys again today. I've narrowed down my choices to 4 different aircraft. I'm going to compare and contrast the performance data and characteristics, the cost of each aircraft, and the utilization and time for each of the 4 aircraft. Hopefully after today, we will all be on the same page and ready to start this journey. Pick out an aircraft and let's get this expansion going. Thanks. So the 4 aircraft that I chose to compare between on this week's discussion are the Pilatus PC-12, whose price is $4,963,400. The TBM 930, its price is $4,194,390. The Phenom 100 EV, which is $4,495,000, and the Piper M500, which is $2,040,000. I decided to keep 3 turboprops and 1 small twin engine jet, just because I compared the Phenom last week with the Pilatus, and I kind of conferred that a turboprop would be necessary for this expansion into Oklahoma in this business. And now I'm going to compare the performances between the 4 aircraft. Like I said before, I decided to compare 3 turboprops and 1 small twin-engine jet. Some of the big things I look for are speed, cabin space, payload, and maximum range with gross weight. The fastest maximum cruising speed actually belonged to the TBM. Its max speed was 330 knots, which for a 300-mile trip is not necessarily the most important thing out of those 4. The largest range belongs to the Pilatus, the PC-12, which also had the maximum space, which turned out to be, I believe it was 405.6 cubic feet, and that is a significant increase compared to the TBM of 246, the Phenom of only 274.9 cubic feet, and the Piper M500 of only 196.7 cubic feet. It's a turboprop, and you're getting that much space, which means you can. We're fitting up to 4 passengers on this, so we can fit up. You can get a lot of work done. There's a lot of space, a lot of privacy in that space. Another big one for me was the max payload with the max fuel, which belonged to the Pilatus, and the max payload was 1,009 pounds after max fuel, which can be important when you're in a high-density altitude area or you have a shorter runway than you expected. So for that, I'm really leaning toward the Pilatus based on these performance comparisons. For this slide, I was going to look at a comparison of data for all 4 of the aircraft, and one of the big things I noticed was the trip time between the 4. The Pilatus shows an hour and 10-minute trip for 300 nautical miles. The TBM 930 shows a 1-hour trip for 300 nautical miles. The Phenom shows a 53-minute 300 nautical mile trip, and the Piper M500 shows an hour and 22. Again, the 300-mile trip is it's about spot on for the Afton, Oklahoma expansion. And so, I mean, you're saving a matter of 20 minutes pretty much if you use the Phenom, but however, the Phenom has the most expensive direct cost. Based on the direct cost, the Pilatus had a price of $797, and that's about right in between all 4 of them. You can see at the bottom of that table that's shown there. Based on all the other benefits that the Pilatus brings with the amount of space you've got in the cabin, the speed, the altitude's fine for a long-range trip and a 300-mile trip like this, and the true airspeed it's plenty fast. That's why I see the Pilatus as the most beneficial out of these 4 aircraft. Next, I'm going to look at the estimated hours of utilization between the 4 aircraft. You'll travel the same amount of miles in all 4 aircraft, which is 120,003.3 miles throughout the year. The Pilatus, you'll use that aircraft will be used for 466.7 hours. The TBM 930 would be used for 400 hours. The Phenom 100 EV would be used for 353.3 hours. And the Piper M500 would be used for 546.7 hours. And so you can see the cheapest and slowest has the longest utilization time. while the Pilatus has the second highest, even though it's got plenty of better benefits between all four of those. I think a matter of 60 hours, which is only a couple of days, would be fine with picking that aircraft. Thanks.